Hello. So during brainstorming for my next video, I realized that there is a lot of video games that I have not played. There's so many video games that are probably hiding some of the best mechanics and side content for me to explore. So I figured, what better way to find a topic for my next video than to start a streaming series about That's right. I'm going to be starting a streaming series that is going to last the rest of my natural lifespan, and I'm going to be playing every single GameCube game ever released, with an asterisk. One of the things that I pride myself on is being able to do everything with real hardware. I think it's more fun for me when I play things on real hardware, but because of that, I'll only be able to play NTSC releases for the GameCube. That's where the asterisk comes in. The GameCube is region locked, so I won't be able to play anything that was released only in the PAL region or the Japanese region. And I'm also going to be making a few more cuts here and there to the NTSC list. But it's still going to be most NTSC GameCube games, and most GameCube games overall. Most of the cuts are going to be things that I think are reasonable to cut. These are things like the double pack games. So for example, Wind Waker and Metroid Prime released as a double pack, but Wind Waker and Metroid Prime are already games on the list as separate entries, so there'd be no reason for me to play the double pack if I'm already playing those games. Another one is Zelda Collector's Edition. I do have Master Quest on the list, but the Collector's Edition is just a series of N64 or older games, so I don't find those to really fit in with the GameCube list. So after all of the cuts, that leaves us with a grand total of 530 GameCube games, and I do want to play all of them, no matter how long it takes. This whole thing was heavily inspired by The Beast 721 on YouTube, otherwise known as Thab. They're predominantly a Mario streamer, but they've also been streaming themselves playing through every single N64 game. I find them extremely entertaining, so if this whole thing seems interesting to you, definitely check them out as well. Alright, so here is a list of every GameCube game that was ever released in NTSC. I mentioned that there are 530 games on this list, and there are, but there are only 390 entries on the list itself. And the reason for that is because I compressed some of them. So if we take SSX, for example, SSX has 3 games on the GameCube. It has Tricky, SSX 3, and SSX on Tour. So instead of giving them each their own entry, which would effectively give them better odds of being landed on than something with only one entry, like this Intellivision Lives game, it's just compressed into one. So that's where the 390 number comes from. I promise I'm not skimping out on any game entries any more than the cuts already are. So we just have a random number generator between 1 and 390. I'll roll it, I'll just play the game that corresponds to that number, and then we'll remove it from the list. In the event that something like SSX gets picked, we will just play them in sequential order. So the first time it gets landed on, we'll just pick Tricky. The second time, it'll be 3, and then the third time, it'll be on Tour. And then we'll remove the SSX entry from the list, is how that's going to work. But before we pick our first game, I need to talk about Animal Crossing and Pokemon Channel. Alright, so both Pokemon Channel and Animal Crossing utilize the GameCube's calendar and internal clock functionality, and a lot of their content is gated behind the passing of a real-world day. So those two are also not on this list, but I'm still going to play them. But the way that those two are going to work is I'm going to be playing them parallel to whatever game I'm currently playing, starting with Pokemon Channel. So we're going to roll the random number generator and we're going to pick a game, and we're going to play that game. But at the end of every session, we're going to do like a daily check-in on our Pokemon Channel save until Pokemon Channel is complete, and then we'll do the same thing with Animal Crossing. So those two games will kind of be running in parallel to every game that we play on this list until they're completed. So without any further delay, let's pick our very first GameCube game that we're going to be playing. 367. This is